Look at me, I'm Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Prismahaven, and today I decided to do a tutorial. It's a very simple tutorial. It's only 3 steps, 4 if you add the leaf, but I'm going to do a lilac. So, first things first, let me adjust the camera here. First things first, you're gonna draw a horn kind of shape, like a downward sloping horn. Very round at the tip too. This just gives you an outline, like a guideline to the lilac flower, because it's sloping downwards. So I'm just gonna do that. Don't like how that looks. Okay, there we go. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna widen it up a bit at the base and curve it out. Because you don't want it to be too rigid and too pointy. It's a flower. It's a plant. It's sloping downward. So you want it to be very smooth and flowing. You know what I mean? Okay. Now that I did that, I'm gonna grab my kneaded eraser. See, this is a kneaded eraser. I can't show it up too close or else you can't see it in the lighting. But this is it's kind of like a putty, not like a silly putty, but like a clay putty used to stick things on the wall with. I'm just going, and you can use this to lightly take off the graphite. You don't have to do this step, but this is just, I'm just gonna kind of knead it away a little bit so it's barely visible for me, just so I don't have any harsh lines in my flower. Okay, and now we're going to do the next step. So that's step 1. The next step is to lightly draw a bunch of circles. You don't want to press too hard, and you don't want them to be very organized, because again, nature is not very organized. It's a flower. So you just want to do some light, loose circles, bigger at the base, smaller at the top, because at the top they're not fully bloomed yet, whereas the base they have completely bloomed. So you want to do that, and like I said, you don't want to go too harsh in pressing on the pencil. You want to try and keep it light, so that this just kind of creates kind of like a base layer, you know, like flat color. Like imagine you're doing digital art. Say you're a digital artist, and you put down the flat color, and then you add in with the shading and all that. Or with graphite drawing, you always something I notice and something I do in my occasional graphite drawings is I lay down the color first, and then I lay down the flat layer, the base layer of graphite, and then I build upon that. I'll erase where I want it to be lighter, and I'll darken it up where I want it to be darker. So yeah, adding the circles here is just like this is the flower. It's not a very hyper realistic flower, and after you do all the circles, it doesn't quite look like a lilac, but you'll see what I mean, and yeah, you'll see how it looks in the end. drawings don't always look perfect in the beginning, but or as you start off, it looks much better after you've completed all your steps. Also, you want to try and don't want to stay too in the lines, because again, nature is not organized. So you want to kind of add it a little bit. Don't be afraid to add it outside of the lines. Now I'm just gonna kind of knead it because it was too light, too dark. I did it too dark. So now I'm going to go in with even more circles, but now this is going to be the shading. So you want to figure out where you're going to have the lighting. I'm going to have the lighting up here. So that means since it's coming down from above, it's going to be, my shading is going to be underneath the flower. So majority of it is going to be here. And this is where I can go really dark with the circles. This is adding like another layer. This is the shading part. Going darker with underneath is what you want to do. And you don't want to have it darker everywhere. So, yeah, right about here. Yeah, okay. And you want to start a gradient once you've got your dark layers down. You want to start doing a gradient. So start loosening up on your pressure as you go higher up. And you want to do this throughout the entire picture, the entire flower. This fills in the space and creates the illusion of a flower, of many little flowers on this stalk. So just going up like that, and once you get to the top, you don't have to press hard or anything. If you want it to be very, very light, you can leave it very, very light. But I'm just going through the whole thing with more circles, just to make it seem more full and more like a lilac flower. And if you need to, something I did when I was trying this out for the first time is if you accidentally go too dark where you want it to be lighter, you can just kind of erase that area there. Now that's the lilac, the flower. Now if you want, you don't have to necessarily do this step, but if you want, you can add a leaf or two or three maybe, or maybe even an entire bush. But I'm just gonna add one leaf here, and it's kind of a heart shape. So it's like you're doing like a little heart shape kind of thing. And you want to put that line down in the middle. And that's not flowing properly, but that's okay. Now I want to erase the part where the leaf is overlapping the flower, because you don't want to see the flower in there. And I'm just going to add some basic shading, just kind of going in where the light's hitting it. Or where the light isn't hitting it, sorry. Now, I'm going to use, I don't have an actual Tutourial or blending stick, I just have this homemade one, so I'm going to use this and just go in. If you have a blending Tutourial, then you can use that. You can also just use your finger, but I have this little blending stick made of rolled up paper. And then I'm just going to go back in and do even darker shading where I want even darker shading. And then I'm going to take the Tutourial again and go back and blend that out. And again, you can add as many leaves as you want. If you want to know if you really want to, you can just study some pictures of lilacs, and that's what I did. I studied some pictures of lilacs, figured out how the leaves shaped and all that. Yeah, you can, if you want to find out other ways to draw the flower or the leaf, or how the lighting goes, maybe take some online classes, search up other things on YouTube, maybe or maybe even just look at some reference pictures yourself. That helped me quite a bit, because yeah, the leaf isn't quite flowing with the picture, but that's okay. I was just going with how I did it. But that's how you draw an easy lilac. Very simple, and it works best if it's a smaller picture, so it's like a bunch of, in a bush. I wouldn't suggest going into hyper detail with these steps, like a ginormous one. But that is how you do a very simple, easy lilac with the addition of a leaf. Now, thank you all so much for watching. Check out my Instagram at Prismahaven, and if you followed this tutorial along with me, post it on Instagram and tag me. I'd love to see your artwork and how you did. And if you have any other suggestions for tutorials, leave it in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel for speed paints and future tutorial videos possibly. Bye!